The embassy represents Nigeria in all aspects of diplomatic work. The consulate is a limited body that deals within a jurisdiction. The consulate here deals mainly with the interest of Nigeria in a certain area within a country. And in this case, the Consulate General of Nigeria in New York is responsible to meeting the needs of Nigerians in 20 states. We do not deal with political issues. That is something that is striking. We should know. If you have any issue politically, you address it to the embassy. The embassy will be very much in position to respond. Whereas consulate deals with the interest of Nigerians and the economic interest of Nigeria, the shipments, and every other thing but the political aspects. The ambassador in Washington presents her letter to the president, whereas in the consulates, we are designated to meet the state of New York and all the states we work with. So in this regard, when you mean the Consulate General of Nigeria or the consulate, it's a limited jurisdiction and it is established to meet Nigerians' interest within a given area within the country it is located. Whereas the embassy has a total power, it's a representational power, and is represented by the president. Is a representative of Mr. President to that sending state. So that is where we are. And that's the difference. We all work together as one unit. Like in United States of America, we have presently 3 missions. We have the our mission in Washington, our mission in Atlanta, and our mission in New York. So, but each time these 3 missions still meets, in as much as each mission is independent, but at the same time, we still meet to have a tripartite meeting so as to ensure that we harmonize our positions or whatever we're doing and ensure that Nigerians are given best of the treatments that they should be getting. So in a nutshell, that's the only thing I can describe. They differentiate between the consulate and the embassy. The embassy has overall, it covers every state within the United States. They have a far-reaching, the ambassador has a far-reaching effect, and he has broader and every representational powers to go from one place to another. And that's why we are asking the ambassador to come over to the East Coast or our own part of the East Coast to meet with Nigerians. And that will be done sometime before the end of this month. Work together with our ambassador in the United States.
Thank you, sir. For people who are just coming in, and our people on Yoruba Gbode Radio, and our people on YouTube, this is Consul General Mr. Lord Egopija, who is our guest today. We don't have time at all. We are going to, like what I learned now, we are going to spend 1/6 of the time that we usually spend on Yoruba Gbode. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to yield to our three wise men and our yeye to ask their question. And then from there, the wise men will determine what we are going to do with the rest of the time. But Professor Omofolabo Ajayi Soyinka, do you have any question now?
Well, it's thank you very much, and thank you, Ambassador, for your explanation. My question is, what this time is about, and that is what is happening to, or why do we have these passport issue delays? I mean, everybody has stories and everybody's complaining about it, and nobody really understands what is going on and why should there be a shortage, and what the government is doing about it. Thank you.
You want me to take that now, or you want me to
go ahead
to answer one or two or three questions?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. The issue of the passport delays, you will notice that people come in and they are given, at first they were given 8 weeks with which to process a passport renewal procedure, to complete the passport renewal procedure. And later it became 12 weeks now. But between these periods, you get your passport before or on at the appointed time. The reason being that during COVID-19, we had a lot of backlogs. And as such, the number of passports that came in were far below the number of people that have been making requests to renew their passports. As a result of that, there's bound to be pressure on us. What are we doing to sort of get back to stream? One, we have brought this to the attention of the federal government, that at least we have between 3,000 to 4,000 passports pending to be renewed. We also have at least 100 people coming for passport renewal every day. And we've also done the mathematics and said, if we get an approximately 2,500 passports booklets every month, and get about 4,000 passport booklets shipped to us, we would be able to solve the problem. During the last during the high-level ONGA meeting, I explained this to high government officials, and they have started working on it and impressing it on the agency responsible to getting these passports across to us to expedite action. Just last week, I got very good information from my colleagues that they were going to work on it and get this whole thing. As soon as it's done, the issue of passport delays would have been sorted out. We are keen on ensuring that passports are delivered, and at most, it shouldn't take you more than about a week at the most. If we have passports on the ground, people should just stay between 48 and 72 hours to get their passport whenever they apply. But for now, we continue to ask our nationals to bear with us. But one interesting thing about it is the fact that we have also simplified and also made things easier for people to walk into the Consul General of Nigeria, New York, to sort of get their biometrics taken. I believe, I don't know if I've been able to answer this passport.
Olotu, do you want me to continue, or do you want other people to ask questions? Moderator? Well, let me say thank you for your explanation, but I know that the COVID had set so many things back, and not just in Nigeria, but actually the problem with the passport renewal or getting a new passport has been happening before the COVID struck.
Okay.
And there's also the additional problem that Nigerian citizens not living in New York or Atlanta, where we have this, have to face, we're asked to register online, do this online, and at the same time, we still have to travel down to either New York or Atlanta or Georgia, and that's a lot of inconvenience. Sometimes you are not even able to renew your passport, and this was long before the COVID struck.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam. I am speaking from the fact that in some few days' time, I'll be 6 months on the saddle. So I didn't want to go beyond, go and start examining what happened before then. I met this problem, but we are determined to solve this problem. And I've just given you a little tip on how we can solve this problem. We are committed to solving this problem, just like we have also been able to some extent, align the process of getting the biometrics done. So we are committed to it, and we would continue. On the issue of people having out of New York, having this problem of coming to New York, we also intend to simplify the issue, in the sense that just August, we did our first intervention under my supervision in Chicago. And I dare say that those we did their passports in Chicago, we are almost at the point of sending those passports to them. For we are printing and we're sending those passports to them in a question of days or a week. So that I am aware of. We also know that we have contacted some of our people in Minnesota. Rhode Island have told us when they want, Pennsylvania, and those here and there. But one thing particular is the fact that we are reaching out to people out of state through the associations we know. And we would also do passports intervention to ensure that it lessen their burden of commuting. That we will do, and we will streamline, and we will do it in a properly fashion. I don't want a situation whereby we do things and we don't get anywhere. Before now, we have problems because we've had to, the consulate had undertaken passport exercises in some of these states, but we are beginning to get the whole thing sorted out. I had said we were not going to do these things until we get that problem sorted out. But I'm also happy to say that only last week, we received some backlog of those who did their passports. Also did their passport in 2019. That approval has been given. So with that being done, when we see the progress in it, then we can now begin to schedule interventions. And we would also get through to Nigerians within our jurisdiction through our WhatsApp group. What we are currently doing, which we did the last weekend, last Monday, we had a meeting with our compatriots in Minnesota. And we're also going to have meetings with our compatriots out of states to get closer to them and also to tell them what we how we intend going about interventions in those states. So we are taking pragmatic. We're taking a pragmatic approach to our passport delivery, and we hope that once we begin to get the booklets delivered to us as promised by the federal government, we would also inform that these passports we've taken delivery and that we will get going. And
I'm going to, at this point, I'm going to give Professor Ajayi, please forgive me. I have to rush down to Professor Adenira Adeboye if he has any question at this point, because our time is speeding. Professor Adenira Adeboye.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you, hostess. Again, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Consulate General, thank you for coming to our setting here. I have two or three fast questions.
Okay.
But most of these questions should be, they are addressed at Nigeria, of which you are the representative, not at your person, because you might be, the consulate is an office. It's a civil service, almost a civil service job, not a political job. Question. I've been here since 1969, and you can see that on my head. So
the greatness, which is like a crown.
At that time, the Embassy of Nigeria in DC was on 16th Street. I think that's 52 years. In 52 years, we've had off and on problems of not having passports at the embassy or in the consulate or what have you. Is there any learning curve that explains why Nigeria alone will be the country that always is short of passports? Especially, I'm a teacher. So I worry too much about my students who don't always have infinite money, having to come from some place outside, some corner of the United States, to come to Washington to get a passport or go to New York or what have you. And then they get in there, the day these things are supposed to be ready, they are not. So the student has to find a place to sleep in the gutter, or if you don't have a relative in the city. Why is Nigeria, from a civil servant point of view, why is Nigeria the only country that I have seen in 52 years in this United States whose citizens are in trouble when it comes to passport renewal?
Thank you very much. In as much as I will not want to delve into why, I want to say that I don't want to believe that Nigeria is the only country where the citizens having issues with passports.
Well, let me help you.
Let me go ahead, sir, if you would.
See, because I didn't make that statement politically, I made it factually. I teach at Howard University. I have access to Ivorians and Ghanaians and Senegalese and Ethiopians and Trinidad and Tobago and what have you. So when I make a statement about Nigeria being the only country, I have never seen another child beg me to let them spend 2 or 3 days in New York because they have to get their passport renewed. Now,
okay, in talking about spending longer period in getting passport renewed, I think we have come the curve in the Consulate General of Nigeria. We give priority to our students, and we now adopt a mailing system whereby after your biometric is taken, you mail your passport back to you. So you don't even have to spend the day. You come in, you get your biometrics taken, you go and leave your passport, you leave your envelope, and we get it mailed to you. So you don't spend more than the few hours you are there to get your biometrics taken. So since I came in, no one has had to spend more than the necessary number of hours staying in the mission. And I also discourage people from coming to the mission before 9 o'clock, because I know when we start our enrollment by 9, about 10:30, people start going back home. So I don't want to believe that we've not turned in the learning curve. We have. We only need to ensure that these processes continue. We know you are Yoruba man, and we tell ourselves that whenever someone wakes up, then you say good morning. So probably this is our good morning in New York Consulate, but then we have turned that curve. We may have had hitches in the past, but I don't want to believe anyone told you that he's come to the mission in the last 6 months and spent beyond the necessary number of longer hours. I then want to ask where he or she went and who was the case, who delayed such a person. I've always gone around, and my staff are conscious of the fact that I am always after them and making sure that they do their work when they have to. So that may not be particularly right. We may have experienced that in the past, but we are changing, and the change is for good.
Let me follow up with a quick question relating to what the Consul General has just said. In case of renewal of a passport, when someone comes in originally, I believe you capture the biometrics. Do you save them? And if in fact you are saving them, why do people need to come again to do another biometric? Unless you are not saving them. Because if you are saving them, what the person requesting a renewal will have to do will be to just send an updated passport photograph, and you can then mail it to him. Why do people need to come in there? That's why that room is always congested. Do you save the biometrics?
Well, the biometrics are saved, but this is an issue with the Nigerian Immigration Service. They would always ask for people to come in, because after 5 years, there are some changes in some people. Some of our people are in the past have asked to change their pictures, or sometimes there are some facial or some changes they want, which I have not asked. But the truth of the matter is that the pictures are, because it is called out, information is called out from your last information. The only thing is that I, as a person, have not asked that. But be that as it may, we are in the process of working, telling them that we can have the same face, provided the person is not adverse changing his face. But we have not started that process. And that process is not in our hands at the consulates. All we can say is that we're only doing this in accordance with what the immigration authorities want us to do. But you have brought this issue up, and I can promise you that I'm going to take this up to ask this question: if immigration can do something about it, so that
you just said
we keep having ourselves. People don't keep coming.
Oh God!
We can mail it in. For instance, if you want an ETC, you don't need to come to the mission. You only just mail in your information and it will be mailed back to you. So we can't do that, but we have not asked that question. I have not asked that question. It's something I'm going to ask and find out. Probably I may get back to you at an appropriate time after getting the question, after getting the response.
Thank you. Then another question, now my main question. A couple of months ago, I don't know whether it's last year, it was last year, the president and either the Minister of Internal Affairs, Mr. Egopija, announced with a fanfare that the 10-year passport will be available to Nigerians. And up to now, unless you want to correct me, people have been unable to get a 10-year passport, because that will at least address congestion, people coming in every 4 years or every 5 years. What is holding it? Why is it impossible now to get a 10-year passport?
Well, the 10 years passport has started. Well, one of the components, what the 10-year passport will need is your NIN number. Your NIN number, NIN number. And we know that for those of us in the United States, not up to 1% of Nigerians in the United States have registered with the NIN. And without NIN, you cannot get the 10-year passport. And that's why the 10-year passport issue has not started in America. I know they are trying to see what can be done. Some vendors have been appointed to enroll Nigerians faster. And these vendors, we have listed them even on our website, and you avail yourself. Once we know that we have a sizable number, we could ask that the 10-year passports be introduced here. So it's dependent on the availability of many Nigerians enrolling in NIN, having a NIN number. We cannot have a 10-year passport if you don't have a NIN number. So that is what I think is the lane. But in Nigeria now, I know before I left in Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Abuja, you cannot get this 5-year passport again. You go for a 10-year passport with a NIN number. And that's why federal government is insisting that every Nigerian should be enrolled, should be NIN enrolled. So that is where we are, and that is what is delaying it. As soon as we get that, just only last week again, one of the vendors came and we got these particulars, and we've assured you we're going to distribute, we're going to put it in our website, let Nigerians, and also put it on our WhatsApp platform so that Nigerians can begin to see where it's nearest place to them, nearest point to them, so that they can get enrolled and will in no time begin to ask for the 10 years registration. 10 years passports, 10 years passport here.
Thank you.
Can I go ahead? Are you going to be able to push it till 4 o'clock?
No, 4:45, please. 3:45.
Alagba, Dr. Fola Jogun from UK. Dr. Fola Jogun.
Yeah, thank you, Olotu.
Yes,
thank you, Mr. Consul General. Actually, I'm from UK. I reside in UK, but our experience with the passport, obtaining or renewing your passport is exactly the same as in US. Just one question or two questions. First, what is the purpose of this NIN number? What is it for?
Well, yeah, yes, thank you. A lot of people have the impression that is it serving the same purpose that our social security number in America serve, or exactly what's the purpose of NIN number?
And BVN too.
It will serve the purpose of the social security number, because with the NIN, at least everyone has a number.
So for those people living outside Nigeria, then why do they need a number when they don't reside there? They don't obtain any security benefits.
You are the same reason you want a passport. The same reason you want a passport.
So we're having two passports then.
Well, you are at liberty to take to get a Nigerian passport, or you remain wherever you want.
No. I mean, yeah, I have a Nigerian passport, but what is the NIN going to do for me?
Well, the NIN is a government policy to determine and also to take records of Nigeria, and with that we're able to plan.
No, that's not the record of Nigeria is the passport.
It's for planning purposes.
Yeah,
it's for planning purposes for everything.
That should be for people residing in Nigeria. You want to plan for them. It should be for people residing in Nigeria,
including you, because we need a passport. You need
let me ask you a quick question. What's the population of Nigeria now?
Well, I'm not in the position to tell you the population of Nigeria.
So you not even have a record of people living there. You are trying to get number for those outside. So you just making life difficult.
Okay, Dr. Folajogu, let's pause that question for a minute. Mr. Charlie Oribamishe, is your question different from, unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Consul General, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My question is, we have name centers around the country that are very close to people. I'm calling from Minneapolis. I have one. Okay. And one of the vendors that do NIN. Okay. So can we be allowed to start doing renewal of passport since we have already have a linkage with Abuja, so that people who don't have to go to New York or go to Atlanta just for renewal?
Okay, that issue was brought to the fore the last week during my discussion with one of the vendors. And I did say that is within the prerogative of Nigerian Immigration Service. We at the consulate cannot take that decision. You have a link with NIMC, and it's the same program with Immigration I launched. It's somehow it's a program that is compatible, but at the same time, we at the consulate don't have that power to determine. The NIMC and the vendors and immigration would have to sort that out. Whatever we are told to do, we would do from an end here. It has nothing to do with us.
But sir, you're supposed to be representing our interest in the diaspora.
Yes.
So do you want to make life easier for us, or you just want to keep the status quo?
I want to make life easier, but at this point, in Nigeria Immigration Service would have to be contacted. And I told you just last week, a vendor came and told us that's the possibility. And we said until immigration decides to do that, we don't have that. I work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We could only make our recommendations based on our interaction with Nigerians. We cannot now say we have these vendors should begin to do what we do at the consulate. It has to be something we thought through by government, and now we now decide to they now decide to ask us to implement. Once we are asked to implement it, we won't implement it.
Okay, let me take the last question, sir. Alhaji Sule, unmute yourself.
Shema, Mr. Consulate, I'm very sorry I have to say this. It's not a repetition of what my people have said. You have the name agency. When they even give that name, because I've experienced this, they require me to have it before I can renew my passport. I went to New York to do this. Then I got that message that they can't give the number from here. It has to be given from Abuja. Why do have an agency that can't function the way they're supposed to function? That's question number one. Number two, after doing that online, I couldn't get a date to get and do my capturing in New York. I had to go there in person. The day I went, I was number 100 on that day. They made us to pay another $130 after I paid $77 online. So when you make us to do things online, why do we have to go there physically? Up till now, I'm here to get my passport. They said in 10 weeks. In 10 weeks, I've not gotten it. So like Dr. I don't even know, but okay, that's question number two. Number three now. You see, this is burning me. I mean, I don't understand the system.
Okay.
They're making life tough for us, like Baba.
What's the third question? So we can round it up.
So the third question, see, the way your people are behaving, consulate, whether New York or anywhere, it's like they are behaving in Nigeria. You are taking us for a ride. You want to frustrate us to get whatever you deserve to get. You are not working in that line. Okay?
Okay, I like this today. Give him chance because to respond.
Thank you. Incidentally, this may be my last question for now. But let me say that the consulate, if you have been to the consulate in the past few months, you would have noticed a very improved working conditions. The number of reviews we have got doesn't indicate that we're taking Nigerians for a ride. Rather, we're giving Nigerians the best services we can offer at any time. I'm sorry about your sojourn to Nigeria, whether NIN or no NIN. At no point were you ever promised that if you don't have your NIN, you will get your passport. So we've always said that you can get your passport without.
I'm so sorry, sir. Can you unmute yourself? I had to mute everybody. Can you unmute yourself, sir? I had to mute you because there was filtering. Can you unmute yourself back, sir, so we can hear you? Thank you, sir. Okay.
Well, let me say that the consulate has improved its services and we would continue to improve our service. We never take any Nigerian for a ride. We have done everything with all sense of responsibility. We are sorry that you came to the consulate without having a date, and that those who walk into the consulate without having a date to come in, an approved date to come in, are made to pay $100 working fee. If you have come in and that working fee is something you have to voluntarily do. It is not something that you are mandated to do. The only thing you are mandated to do is to pay the $30 administrative fee. We normally will tell you, go to the website, go and get the dates if you want to come in. Go to the Nigerian House website, click for an appointment date. When you get your appointment date, you come in and you'll be attended to. You will only be required to pay $30. But if you feel you can walk in, well, the walk-in is something, it's an American tradition. And because we also have to pay our staff for going beyond our capacity and all that, it was decided by the 3 missions in America that anyone who walks in without an appointment should pay the $100. So it's something that you have to decide whether you want to do. It's not something you should now say people have been treated or taken for granted. On the issue of your 10-week, I want to say, I dare say that your passport should have been ready. But if you will notice that the last 2 weeks, there had been a passport that did an increase in the cost of postage. Most of the passports that were sent to the post office were returned. We have had to add $1 each on each meal, and that we were doing as of beginning from Thursday last week. So if you have any issue, please you can tell Shola Yusuf, give her your name and your particulars. I'll be willing to assist you tomorrow to tell you the state at which your passport. But if you have your tracking, you can also track. On this note, I want to thank you for giving me this privilege to speak with you. I wish I would have had more time.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate the time that you have spent for us.
No,
the new position that the new position that you have given me That they should call him. Does it come with some money too?
Voluntarily.
I heard that you have to be in California.
Oh, okay, sir. I'm going to
She's coming
for the time that you have
the
spent
lawyer.
for us. And I'm going to ask you if you can spend if you can
with the lawyer to
try
the
to
court.
come some other time on this program, because
you
as
know,
you see, people
not
are
everything
pregnant
you
with
want
questions.
to do, you have to, when you
And
want
they
to
have
go
a
and
lot
meet
of
lawyer,
questions that they want to
you,
ask you.
They say you can't do Zoom.
So, but thank you for coming. We have to save a
Sacramento
little time, and we have
Yeah, you say you can't do
benefited from
Zoom or you
it.
can come
Thank
in.
you.
So, but you go there.
Yeah.
So please, when you come in, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Now the guest is gone because he, according to him, he has something that he has to take care of. And you know, Yoruba Gbode, we are Agbojo on this, and unfortunately, it didn't work like that today. But all the same, we are grateful that he's able to spend some time with us. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. We are expecting you some other time when you will have more time, because our people are pregnant with questions. Okay, I can't even hear you. Can you unmute, sir?
I know I have a vibrant community here, and I'd like to reach Nigerians within our states of jurisdiction. I'll happily be available another time. And I also invite Nigerians to come up during our town hall meeting scheduled for 29th of October at 6 p.m. I'll provide you with the link.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Then we'll be able to address everyone's issue if you're able to attend. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much. So where we are now, ladies and gentlemen, ṣé ká máa sọ Yorùbá àbí èbó ni ká máa sọ lọ bí ìpẹ́rẹ̀ torí àlejò wa tó jẹ́ àmọ́ ṣe èbó wọ́n ti lọ. Bàbá Adébóyè. Bàbá Adébóyè. Ṣé èbó lẹni máa sọ lọ àbí ká máa sọ èdè abínibí?
Tó bá lè sọ Yorùbá gbọ̀ngàn, then you can continue.
Ẹnìkan tí ẹ ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ lónìí, ó ní bàbá Adébóyè tí wọ́n wá látọ̀dẹ Òmu, mo ní ọdẹ Òmu bó o, èmi ọmọ bóyá tún ti joyè ní ọdẹ Òmu ni o.
Méjèèjì ni wọ́n ṣe ìjà kan o, wọ́n ní sọ́lé ìyanu o.
For the little time, for the next 30 minutes to 1 hour, we are going to just make it an open mic. Kíkálukú ó sọ tẹnu wọn. Àwọn nǹkan míì wà tó jẹ́ pé a lè jẹ àǹfààní àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, àwọn amòye Yorùbá Gbòde, Yèyé Ọmọ́fọlábọ̀, wọ́n nímọ̀, wọ́n lóye. Bàbá Adéníran Adébóyè, ibi tí mo pín sínú. Alàgbà Dípọ̀ Akíṣíkù, abẹ́ ti tẹ̀lé ambassador lọ ni. Alàgbà Akíṣíkù. Èmi ò rí yín ti tẹ̀lé ambassador lọ́nu o. Alàgbà Akíṣíkù.
You muted me.
Èmi kọ́ mi ò tó gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ́ palẹ́nu mọ́. Nígbà tí wọ́n á lu barista lórí Yorùbá Gbòde àti gbọ́. Níjọ́ tá a bá jó barista, a mọ̀ pé ọmọ rẹ̀ pé wá lùlù fún wa ni. Àwọn ni wọ́n jẹ́ kí n pa gbogbo èèyàn lẹ́nu mọ́, ẹ má bínú o. A ní a fẹ́ ṣe léyìí ní kíkálukú sọ tẹnu ẹ̀. Nǹkan tá a bá rí tí a lè jẹ àǹfààní mọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn. Wọ́n á máa kọrin kan nígbà tí ní àdúgbò wa ní Ìbàdàn. Sọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu rẹ̀ ayé ò ní mú ọ sí, èyí àbáṣe là ó mọ̀mọ́. Sọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu rẹ̀ ayé ò ní mú ọ sí. Ẹ má bínú pé ohùn mi dàbí ẹ̀dọ̀ yangi o. Ó ní tọ́lọ̀ ń fi ṣe àbùdá ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan. Èmi èé kọrin, ọ̀rọ̀ lèmi máa sọ. ìtàn tí mo sì gbọ́ ni pé láti inú oyún gan mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ orin nǹkan wá kò Ọlọ́run ò pé ó ṣe déédéé ara mi. Ìyáàfin amòfin Tinú Akínsọlá ẹ nawọ́ sókè. Kí lẹ fẹ́ béèrè, kí lẹ fẹ́ sọ? Ẹ ti wà lójú ọpọ́n o.
Ẹ ṣeun, ẹ káàsán. Question tí mo fẹ́ béèrè Consular General wa mo fẹ́ bi but unfortunately wọ́n ti lọ. It's okay. Inú mi dùn pé wọ́n sọ wípé àwọn ní town hall meeting pé ká lè ṣe but wọ́n máa provide yín ní link so ẹ send ẹ sí gbogbo àwa tá à ń fẹ́ yín. Ẹ ṣeun, but mi ò ní sọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn but I just want to also acknowledge nǹkan tó ń sọ kí wọ́n lẹ́yìn wípé ní àtìgbà táwọn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ as a Consular General or something pé nǹkan ti yàtọ̀ a little bit, which is true because mo mọ àwọn èèyàn kan tó súnmọ́ mi pẹ́kípẹ́kí tí wọ́n lọ sí embassy ti DC bíbá ẹni mo sọ tó jẹ́ wípé a little bit of nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe ó ti yàtọ̀. But there is still a lot to be done. So ìyẹn a máa suspend ìyẹn until tí a bá bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. So that's all I have to say. Ẹ ṣé
omi ò ní bàjẹ́ o. Alàgbà. Ẹ dákun, ṣe tún gbọ́ nǹkan nísìn. N ó tún dá pa gbogbo wa lẹ́nu mọ́. Ẹ dákun bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ túra yín lẹ̀. Ọ̀dà ẹ̀ ń bá ti fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ túra yín lẹ̀. Bàbá Adébóyè, ẹ mọ̀ ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ wí àbí ọwọ́ tàtẹ̀ kan náà ni. Bàbá Adébóyè ẹ túra yín lẹ̀ o.
Okay, tí èmi mo fẹ́.
Bó ti dé o.
Lẹ́yìn Bàbá Adébóyè, Bàbá Kíṣíkù.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo kí gbogbo wa a kú ètò yìí. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ àsìkò yìí gan ló dáa jù láti sọ torí kò sí àlejò láàrin wa. A ti ń ṣe Yorùbá Gbòde ọjọ́ ti pẹ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o.
Àìjọnilójú lọ́sàn-án ó là ń tàkìtì ìlúra ẹni lóru. Gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé a lè máa sọ̀rọ̀ ká tó máa ṣe rédíò ká tó máa kọrin ká tó máa answer tẹlifóònù. Kí ló wá fà tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí àwa èèyàn dúdú bá kójọ pọ̀ tá a fẹ́ ṣe àgbà ìlójú ara wa débi pé ká pa òfin mọ́ pé tó o bá ti ń bọ̀ o pa cellphone ẹ pa rédíò ẹ pa kìnnìkan. Ó ṣe jẹ́ pé gbogbo ni wọ́n mọ mute wa. Ẹ dákun ẹ bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìyẹn kí ni nǹkan tó lu ẹ̀ gbé kalẹ̀ tójú òrìrí tó fi jẹ́ pé dandan tó bá gbé ewu débi láti wá dàbí ìlú.
Bí aráalé ìdànrú àdúgbò kan ní jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Yèyé Ọmọfọlábọ̀ Àjàyí Ṣóyínká kẹ́pẹ́ o àjíǹde ara ọmọdé yín. Ẹ túra yín lẹ́mà.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Nǹkan tí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Adébóyè sọ mo fara mọ́ òótọ́ ni. Ó ṣe ló yẹ ká máa tán bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ táyé ẹni tán gbà láàyè kó ń sọ̀rọ̀ àbí àlejò tá a bá ní tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó yẹ ká mọ̀ pé ó yẹ ká pa fóònù wa ká pa rédíò ká pa amóhùnmáwòrán tí ó wà níbí. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ èkejì ni wípé àwọn ìbéèrè táwọn èèyàn ti kọ sórí platform bí a ká fi ránṣẹ́ sí ambassador.
Wọ́n gbà.
Wọ́n ti gbà. Okay. So now ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ passport kì í ṣọ̀rọ̀ kékeré. Ó ti pẹ́ bí ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Adébóyè ṣe ti sọ. Ó burú gbáà tó jẹ́ pé kí n tiẹ̀ tó máa gbé US tí n bá travel tí n bá lọ sí ìrìn àjò láti Nàìjíríà mi ò tiẹ̀ fẹ́ gbọ́ ohun tó ń jẹ́ Nigerian embassy ni. Nítorí pé ìwọ̀sí mo ti ṣe ní Germany, mo ti ṣe ní England àti ní America. Ìwọ̀sí tí ojú èèyàn máa rí, but wọ́n sọ wípé wọ́n ti ń tún ṣe o, a rò pé ó máa dáa, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ní amókun ẹrù ẹwọ́, ó ní òkèlè ń wò ìsàlẹ̀ lẹ́bàá máa wò lẹ́rù yẹn ti wọ́ wá. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ wa ní Nàìjíríà kò tiẹ̀ ṣíyàn lórí, wọn ò dẹ̀ ṣe ètò àti consulate ní o àti ambassador, wọn ò ṣe dáadáa. Ọ̀rọ̀ passport yìí, nígbà tí mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ ṣe tí wọ́n sọ di ọlọ́dún 5, ó kéré pátápátá, ó ná mi ní 1,500 láti lọ. Lẹ́yìn tí mo ṣe ní online, mo tún láti lọ sí Atlanta, mo sanwó ọkọ̀, mo sanwó hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì tí mo dé sí. Ṣé ìyẹn á máa dáa? Wọ́n tún kúrò ńbẹ̀, mo tún fẹ́ renew ẹ̀ ní 2018 náà àbí 2019 kí COVID tó jẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ní wọn ò níwèé, tí mo pòyì ṣé máa wá kúrò ní ìlú, mi ò ní rí passport mi gbà. Tá a bá dẹ̀ ń lọ, tí n bá ní kí n lo American passport mi, tá a bá dé ibodè àti ibi tá a ti máa mú ọkọ̀, wọ́n á ní o gba visa wọlé, wọ́n á tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yọ̀yàn lẹ́nu. Kí ló ṣe wá gan-an? So ọ̀rọ̀ yìí mo mọ̀ pé inú ń bí gbogbo wa, a dẹ̀ rí bí bá a ṣe bá Consular General wa sọ̀rọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ilé náà ti Nàìjíríà ni ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti burú wá. Ó dáa báyìí tí a ní àkójọpọ̀ yìí, tí Consular General tó ń gbọ́, tó dẹ̀ ń rí pé inú ń bí wa gan ni, tó ti yẹ ká máa ṣe nìyẹn. Ó yẹ ká máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ránṣẹ́ sí ilé kí wọ́n mọ̀ pé kàtìkàtì ni wọ́n ń ṣe. Ẹ wò lú tá a wà, tá a bá máa renew passport wa ń bí, mi ò ń rìn kọjá post office lọ. Màá dẹ̀ fi ìfọ́ọ̀mù ṣe, wọ́n á dẹ̀ send ẹ̀ sí mi ní. Kí ló ṣe tá a lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀? Nígbà tó jẹ́ pé ìlú tá a wà ní àríbọ́n ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan.
Ẹ ṣeun yèyé. Èmi tiẹ̀ ní ìtàn kan tó tún le jù yùn lọ. Mo rò pé Consul General máa wà pẹ̀lú wa ni. Mo bá sọ ìtàn yẹn, ṣùgbọ́n mo fi dá yín lójú pé gbogbo ohun tí kálukú ń sọ yìí, à ń rìkọ́ọ̀dù ẹ̀, mo máa fi ránṣẹ́ sí wọn. Mo wá máa sọ ìtàn mi. Mo sì fẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ó gbọ́ ohun tí ojú mi rí. Inú mi dùn pé wọ́n ní wọ́n ti yí padà. Ní nǹkan bí ọdún 4 sẹ́yìn, ọmọ mi lọ sí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà láti lọ ṣe iṣẹ́. Artist ni láti Amẹ́ríkà, ṣùgbọ́n ó láǹfààní láti lọ ṣe tó fẹ́ ṣe ní Nàìjíríà yẹn ní orílẹ̀-èdè míì bíi Liberia. Ó ṣáà ní lọ́kàn wípé Nàìjíríà ni gbogbo ohun tó bá ti fẹ́ ṣe, ó ṣáà jẹ́ Nàìjíríà, kó jẹ́ Nàìjíríà. Èmi ò sì fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan tí ò ní jẹ́ kórì rẹ̀ ó yá láti lọ. Ó lọ. Nígbà tó dé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, ó ní àrùn ibà malaria. Ọmọdé yìí ó máa ń gba ẹ̀ṣọ́ tó ṣe dáadáa. Tó bá ń lọ á gba health insurance tó dúró dáadáa. Reddington Hospital, ilé ìwòsàn ńlá ló ń lò ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó bá lọ. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ó sì ní àwọn insurance tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n kún ojú ẹ̀. Ó ti wà ń bẹ̀. Àdédé ni wọ́n pè mí. Ológun náà kan tí kì í ṣeré ojú odò ó ní mí. Àdédé ni wọ́n pè mí, ni wọ́n sọ àwọn insurance ẹ̀ pè mí wípé ó ní malaria tó wọ̀ lára tí wọ́n lè tọ́jú ẹ̀ débi wípé ó ti wà unconscious, àti wípé wọ́n fẹ́ gbé lọ sí South Africa. Torí náà wọ́n nídìí kí n fún wọn ní permission pé kán gbé lọ sí South Africa, torí pé àwọn òròpó lè make ẹ̀ débí. Mo tọ̀ sára, kì í ṣe pé bóyá èèyàn fi ń pòwe, mo tọ̀ sára gangan ni. Torí ojú kan ẹ̀pà ojú kan èrè ni. Wọ́n gbé lọ South Africa, wákàtí 6 péré ni wọ́n lò láti débẹ̀. Tán bá máa gbé wá sí orílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà, wọ́n láwọn ò tiẹ̀ rò pé ó lè make it. Ibi nǹkan tó kọ́kọ́ burú ń bẹ̀ náà ni wípé orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà kò lè tọ́jú ibà malaria fever láti ọdún tá a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Even hospital tó dáa jù níbẹ̀ wọ́n gbé sínú medical jet, wọ́n gbé lọ síbẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí abiyamọ, mo ń wọ̀nà bí mo ṣe máa débẹ̀. Mo sáré lọ mú passport mi, mo rí pé Nigerian passport mi ti expire. Ìgbà tí mo rí pé Nigerian passport mi ti expire, mo kó gbogbo ẹrù tí mò ń tó yẹ kí n kó lọ sí South Africa kí n lọ pàdé ẹ̀, mo kó lọ. Ìgbà tí mo dé ibẹ̀, wọ́n ní tí n bá máa gba ti èyí tí máa gbà níjọ́ kejì, ó ní iye tí máa san. Mi ò rántí iye ẹ̀. Mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọdún 4 sẹ́yìn. Wọ́n ní tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé èyí tó máa pẹ́ ni, ó ní iye tí máa san. Mo wá sọ fún wọn pé mo fẹ́ gba oníjọ́ kejì, gbogbo owó tán ní kí n san ni mo san. Ìgbà tí mo san gbogbo owó yẹn tán níbẹ̀, mo wá ọ̀dọ̀ ẹnìkan tí mo mọ̀, mo lọ sùn síbẹ̀ pé kí n wá láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì. Bí mo ṣe dé láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì, mo máa ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ, mo máa make sure wípé Consul General get ẹ̀. Bí mo ṣe dé láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì tí mo wọlé níbẹ̀, tí mo ń béèrè ẹni tó wà lẹ́nu ọ̀nà, ọmọ Ìgbò ni, kò ń ṣe Yorùbá, kò lè ń ṣe Haúsá. Ó wá sọ fún mi pé tí n bá fẹ́ kí passport yẹn jáde, ó sọ sí mi báyìí létí pé kí n give them some things to just rub their palm. Mo ní, what do you mean? Ó sọ sí mi létí báyìí, aṣọ funfun ló wà àti ṣòkòtò dúdú, torí ó sì wà lọ́pọlọ mi. Mo ní owó tí mo san tẹ́lẹ̀, mo san owó tó pọ̀ ju owó tí gbogbo èèyàn ń san lọ, torí pé mo fẹ́ gbà ní kíákíá. Situation mi nìyí, ọmọ mi ó wà báyìí, mo sì gbọ́dọ̀ rí ní kíákíá, mo gbọ́dọ̀ lọ. Ló bá ní ó dáa kí n padà wá ní aago 2 ọ̀sán. Láàrin aago 2 yẹn, mo lọ sí South African Embassy láti lọ sọ fún wọn pé ọ̀nà owó mo lè gbà láti gba visa. Obìnrin yẹn sọ fún mi, mo wá sọ story ara mi fún pé báyìí ni. Àwọn insurance wọ́n dẹ̀ ti pè é, mo ti fún wọn ní nọ́mbà, insurance bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ pé òótọ́ ni o, this woman has to go. Obìnrin yẹn wá ń sọ fún mi ní South Africa pé tí ó ní ọjọ́ 10, South African Embassy, ó lọ́jọ́ 10 ó ní passport àwọn, àbí ní visa àwọn máa ń gbà. Ó ní ṣùgbọ́n situation mi tí bá mú wá ní ìsìn, ó láwọn ò fún mi ní visa kí n lè lọ rí ọmọ mi. Mo bá tún sáré jẹ̀gbọ̀njẹ̀gbọ̀n, mo bá padà. Nígbà tí mo padà dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa, lẹ́ni yẹn bá sọ fún mi pé, oh madam, you didn't do what I asked you to do, that's why you are waiting. I just banged my hand lórí table ẹ̀ gbà. Mo ní passport yẹn, mo ní I'm not going to rub, mo wá ń pariwo, I'm not going to rub nobody's hand tí ẹ bá fún mi ní passport mi lónìí, because I paid. Ibi tí mo ti ń pariwo, mo ń pariwo gan. Ibi tí mo ti ń pariwo, obìnrin kan wá jáde, ó jẹ́ Hausa, wọ́n ní head of kìnìkan mi, wọ́n tán korúkọ ẹ̀. Ló bá ní, madam, come, I see you. Mo ní, are you a mother? This is the situation. My only ojukan ẹ̀pà ojukan èrè, I need my passport today because I paid for kìnì. Ló bá ní, okay, don't worry, madam, I'm going to help you. Ló bá mú mi lọ sókè. Nígbà tó mú mi lọ sókè, wọ́n ní mo ti tẹ̀ka, mo ti ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ o. Ná bá ní wọn ò rí ká mi kí n lọ dúró níbì kan, mo bá dúró. Nígbà tó yá, tán ṣàfi close níjọ́ yẹn, mo ń sun ẹkún bí ọmọ kékeré ni, wọn dá mi lóhùn. Ìgbà tó dijọ́ kẹta, mo wá múra wèrè lọ gangan. Mo wá ní mo fẹ́ rí ọ̀gá wọn gangan, mo bá lọ báyẹn. Bí mo ṣe débẹ̀ báyìí, mo ń pariwo, mo ní, ó tí ì rí wèrè o, wàá rí n tán pè ní lioness. Mo ní, today lónìí tí mi bá gba passport mi, mo ní let me tell you tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ fún ẹ. Mo ní ẹ pé ọlọ́pàá, èmi ó dẹ̀ ṣe pé press. Mo nítorí wípé èmi bí mo ṣe kéré tó yìí o, mo jà nígbà ayé Abacha. Mo ní this is not the type of democracy that I fought for. When I would go to embassy, Washington, D.C. and stay there all night. This is not the type of democracy that I fought for. Mo pariwo gan. máa yẹn ní oh you see and nígbà yẹn aago mẹ́ta ti kọjá ní ọ̀sán aago mẹ́ta Amẹ́ríkà ti kọjá ọkùnrin yìí tó jẹ́ olórí wọn pátápátá níbẹ̀ ó wá ń sọ fún mi wípé òun fẹ́ pe Nàìjíríà òun fẹ́ wádìí reason tí passport mi ò fi jáde wọ́n ti close aago mẹ́jọ ló jẹ́ Nàìjíríà mo ní you are kidding me. You're not calling anybody. I'm not going to leave your office. It means you are not going home unless you are going to lock me here. Or if you like, you can call the police and I'm going to call the press. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí mo mọ̀ ni mo pè. Ìgbà tó yá, at the end of ìgbà tó rí pé mò ń ṣe wèrè gan tí mò ń làágùn. Tí mò ń ṣe bí real lioness, bí you know, ló bá jáde ó ní, you see, I don't know what happened. They said something was wrong with your finger. Ló bá lọ. Nígbà tó máa dé mi ò kúrò lọ́fíìsì ẹ o ó ní madam you need to step out mo ní no I'm not going to step out unless you push me out my daughter is unconscious is in South Africa I need to see my baby ló bá wá jáde nígbà tí ọkùnrin yìí máa wá kò pé ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún ó máa fún mi ó máa fling passport mi fún mi orílẹ̀-èdè ta ní nìyẹn ó fling passport mi. So honestly, mo rò wípé tí àdúrà gbogbo wa bá gbà nǹkan á ti yí padà. But tí ò bá yí padà, bẹ́ẹ̀ni ṣe máa sọ gbogbo ìgbà, ṣìgìdì tó máa sọ fún Ọlọ́run ọba páláre ò wá mọ́, epo orí rẹ̀ ò rìn, a gbọ́dọ̀ dákẹ́. Bàbá Dr. Fọlájogún.
Ẹ ṣeun olóòtú. Èmi náà confess experience tí mo ní the last time tí mo dé Nigeria House ní London.
Please, can I interrupt briefly? Since we'll be sending this to the ambassador, can we also speak in English?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah, my experience, Shola, thank you. My experience is similar to yours. I actually applied online, did all the necessary, filled all the necessary forms, paid all the prescribed fees and everything, and I took it there. They did the biometric fingerprint, photograph, and everything. And they said, well, within 2 weeks, just come and collect your passport. You don't need another appointment. So look, one day I was just, I finished, well, they canceled my list in the hospital. So I said, well, rather than just wait this today, let me go to London and collect my passport. I got there were a lot of people crying, shouting, fighting, and so I just said, what's going on? So it was on a Friday. So I just stood far away looking at them, as Baba didn't know saying that for Waleno. So I just stood far away with my hand on my chin. And then after about an hour or so, then one man called me, he said, gentleman, can we help you? I said, well, you asked me to come and collect my passport that I don't need the appointment, but I can see nobody is entering, what's going on? And he said there's a notice, which they handwritten notice on an A4 piece of paper on the door of the consulate that they got an information from Nigeria the night before that it's public holiday in celebration of Muhammad's birthday, and as such, they were not working. So, and I said, so what about all these people who came from far and wide that you've given an appointment to? Some have taken holiday, some have canceled their job and everything. And you're not telling them that you got an instruction from Nigeria last night and that you're not going. So I said, well, that you're lucky that if this is America, that all I will do is just go home, take my gun and shoot all of you. They just closed their office and went home that day. So yeah, they just making life difficult for everybody all over the world, not in US or same thing in UK, same thing everywhere. So we need to carry on. But the other side is, as Shola said, this country is not working. The so-called Nigeria is not working. So we shouldn't relent on our whatever we're going to do to get the Yoruba people out. Because if you are if I know we are the same sort of, we have the same common interest. If I see you, you need something that is your right, I would not want you to suffer before you get it. But what these people are doing is that, well, Yoruba, so they haven't got any concern for us at all. And that is the bottom line of it.
Okay, thank you so much. One thing that I forgot to add was while I was fighting for those 3 days to try and get the passport, my daughter has an advisor who is an American, white American, who is very, very close with my daughter. So this woman called me, she said, if you don't,
but because of the urgency.
So I mute everybody again. So this white American is very, very close with my daughter. And the first day I started the trouble, she said, Shola, if you are not able to get your passport renewed tomorrow, I am going to get my passport renewed and I'm going to make sure that I go to South Africa, because when she wakes up, my friend has to see somebody that is familiar. Do you know that that woman got her passport renewed the same day from, she was in Hanover, New Hampshire. She got her passport renewed the same day while I was still dancing around in New York. Talashe, Shogunlaye ni. Yeah, somebody else was trying to say something. Alaji Sule, she or what tell ni or the new hand?
In the new hand.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Chairman, lady to
we are trying to speak English, so we can.
That lady that spoke last said that that they are improving. They are not improving. The system they are using, when you finish everything online, they make you to go there. The amount the consulate is saying is optional. It's not optional. Because when you get there, they first tell you, go to the post office to buy an envelope. That's where the tracking number is. Then that's when you'll be allowed to go in, you know, they do the capturing. That's not the first time I've been having that bad experience. When I first renewed my passport, the same thing happened. An officer like it happened to you was the one that came out to bail me out. Then they were telling me I wanted to make them lose their job. I said, do you know how long I've been there? And you never attended to me. So now that the boss came around to make you work, you are telling me I want to, you know, let you lose your job. Why are you behaving like this? You said we are in America. This is not Nigeria. You got to work like they work in America. Make us feel comfortable. But they want to frustrate us. And it doesn't work it. Like Dr. Paula Yumuso is good. I mean, said, it's just good we have Yoruba nation and see how we go to treat ourselves. It's bad enough.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Adesumbo Adeyemo, I'm sorry, I don't know whether it's Yafi, Oloye, or yeah. Please unmute yourself, man. Or sir, Adesumbo Adeyemo. Adesumbo Adeyemo, please unmute yourself.
He's a man. The picture shows a man.
Okay.
Good evening, ma.
Okay, good evening. You
yes,
are on.
It's quite unfortunate that I joined the Zoom meeting very late. And I don't know whether the Consular General have somebody else has asked the question I wanted to that I want to ask.
But let me let you know, the Consul General left already.
I know, ma. I know,
okay.
ma.
Okay.
I want to know the question I want to ask is that sometimes about 4 weeks ago, we saw a notice on the net that they are defrauding the embassy through the application of a renewal of visa, taking renewal of a passport, and what have you. We want to know whether this one is true or not, and what is the fate of those people that paid through that means into Nigeria now. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, so we're going to send the question to him. It's not here anymore. Thank you.
Okay, ma.
Okay. Okay. Everybody that has raised up their hands, I have taken care of them. If you are just coming in.
No, Tunji,
Atewo Logun, Baba.
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
All right, sir.
Good evening, everybody. With what everybody have said, I wish somebody that comes from one of the Caribbean countries, Belize. Belize came to Atlanta. Doesn't live in Atlanta, but wanted to. So the Nigerian embassy has been telling them, come, we'll help you, come, we'll help you. And these people has been coming for 4 weeks. Runs to 1 year. All their visas were all expired. They cannot even renew because all their passports are expired. Nigeria embassy anywhere refuse after filling all the forms online. They cannot renew all their passports. And those people were suffering. In Belize that is not as good as Mushin, can you imagine a country that is not as, you cannot even bring Belize close to Ilupeju Estate, not to talk of, close to Mushin, not to talk of Ilupeju Estate, not as big as that. However, I have not seen a place where they cannot find a way to maximize their profits in this kind of a country. The principle of demand and supply does not work in Nigeria. That is, more people asking for passport will make Nigeria to have more money, and will make them to use more staff, which means more employees will be paid more. So many other, this country is not working, and they refuse to do it. Anyway, where I'm going is this: if the Consul General can find a way to improve, just to improve the situation, improve his name, not actually, I don't think there's any way he could redeem any other places anymore. Improve his own name, redeem his own personal name, so that all these people that are, all of us that are looking for, I don't have a personal, because I went there fully equipped. The day I went there and I was going to travel, 2 days later, I was able to get what I wanted. Honestly, I was able to get what I wanted within 1 day.
You, Mr. Atewo Logun.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Immediately I got there.
You didn't have to rob anybody's farm.
No. It was such a, that was like 4 years, 2015, April 2015, April 13 or so, or April 5 or something like that. So, but when I got there, many people were consoling themselves for what Nigerian embassy is doing for them. Please, the Consular General redeem his own name, his own personal name, because I was told that they have their own problems too. That Nigeria as a country is not remitting money for them to be able to use to do all these things. And because they were unable to get money to do all these things, and they will have to send message to Nigeria for them to be able to issue a passport booklet. This is a long trouble, man. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Alagba Atewo Logun. Ìyáàfin Adenekan, you are on, please. Unmute yourself, man. Unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Olutu. I just want to say that I don't know about this improved situation that the man talked about when he showed up. We're still going to the Nigerian embassy and queuing out there like refugees queuing for ration. And on my last visit there, one of the staff at the embassy said to us that if you're trying to renew your passport, you need to start the process 6 months earlier. You need to give yourself 6 months. That was the first I've heard of that. So these things are out there, and we're talking about improved situation. I know I have been to the Nigerian embassy in DC before, and I never queued outside, even though, you know, at that time I didn't hear of improved situation. But now that the situation is quote unquote improved, we are now lining up outside like refugees for ration. I don't know where the improved situation is.
So, Madam, you are saying that it's getting worse. It's not getting better.
I think it's worse. We were told that, okay, they bring out the list at 7 a.m. Nobody brings out any list. This is all the first person that gets there. You bring a sheet of paper and you start putting names down. The embassy does not open until 10 a.m. We got there like 6:15 a.m. We were number 15. And the embassy door did not open until 10 a.m. And you get
Where was that, ma'am?
That was September this year.
And it was in Washington, D.C.?
It was Washington, D.C. Okay. And you get somebody come out and talk to you that, oh, you people, you need to line up. People will talk to you rudely. You need to line up like elementary school kids. Despite the fact that they have the list, that all they need to do is to start calling the names. They will hold the list and come out and say to you that you need to line up. You should line up. It's ridiculous. I think we really need a lot of improvements. If anything has improved, I haven't seen it. That's the one thing I want to mention. Please allow me to also say something here about NIN. Sometimes we talk about passports and then the issue of NIN comes up. And I heard somebody ask earlier that why are they bothering us about NIN? You know, why are they asking for NIN and all that? I think most people know that that's a national identification number and is different from passports. And if you're a Nigerian, whether you live in Nigeria, UK, or US, wherever you live, you should have an NIN. I'm not saying it's okay for them to bother us and, you know, make us suffer and struggle in addition to struggling for passports. It's a necessity that needs to be done, even though Nigeria is going about it in their own way. An improved situation that we need is for things to be automated. That's why it's easy for you to go and line up for social security number in different social security offices and still get what you need because the systems are linked. Nigeria is not so. That is something that we are lacking in Nigeria. Because whatever you do, you pay online, then you go to the embassy, then they collect your data and now send it to a central processing system in Abuja or wherever in the world that they process it. And then one person sits there to start keying in your information. I think that's why it takes so long. The system is not automated at all. The world has moved on. So I'm hoping this will get to the embassy or whoever needs to know.
Trust me, it is going to get, our Consul General is going to,
thank you.
The Consul General is going to get it. Thank you so much, Mrs. Adeneka. We are grateful.
Thank you.
I'm going to take this opportunity to ask Alagba Charlie Oribamishe to enlighten us about being this vendor, because, you know, I heard when he was talking to the Consul General that he is a vendor. So if you don't mind, sir, if you can tell us what you do as a vendor and how people can get this NIN thing through any vendor or through you.
Thank you very much. There is a popular saying that the Israelites left Egypt, but Egypt did not leave them. That is what is with us Nigerians. We left Nigeria, but when we come to Europe or America, we still behave the way we behave back home. That is the fundamental problem. That is the fundamental problem that we are facing with our embassies.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody again because some people are still talking. Please, sir, can you unmute yourself? Okay, thank you, sir.
So that is the problem. I was a travel agent before I got this NIM contract. And if I tell you how much it cost me to get the contract, You won't believe it. But I just wanted to do it because I wanted to contribute something that will elevate Nigeria to me. I've been in America for 41 years. It didn't cost me anything to get a Social Security. I just walk in there and I got it. And when they brought this NIN number, our understanding was it's going to be like our Social Security. So that was why I lapped to it. I said, well, for people in Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, Iowa, I'll be able to give this service. If you know how long it took them to satisfy me, we're talking of 1.5 years. And I've paid all the money that they asked me to pay. So Nigeria is not working, my brothers and sisters. I wish I can. I hope it will work, but I doubt it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I'm going to take suggestions and opinion from more people, people who haven't talked before. Everybody here actually talk. So Alhaji Sule, is that a new hand?
It's a new hand, man. Look,
okay, go ahead, sir.
Now, mo understand situation. Question ti fẹ́ béèrè pé why tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n fún yín láyè láti fún wa ní nọ́mbà yẹn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa tún send ẹ̀ lọ sí Abuja kẹ́ tó lè get here. Because what happened to me ni mo sọ yìí o. I went to somewhere in New York, almost 90 away from where I live. I paid $50 for them over there. They gave me a number and then they say, this thing is going to come from Nigeria. I never got anything from here. I had to send to Nigeria, whereby they got it for me. I paid over there too. So why is it like that? If they're giving you something to service us here, how come they didn't give you the chance to carry it out the way it's supposed to be carried out? And like you rightly said, Nigeria no place to go.
So Alhaji Sule,
yes, ma'am.
You actually got the number from Nigeria without being in Nigeria.
Yes, but I processed it from here. I went to the agency. My agency is somewhere in New York, 90 miles away from here. So I went to do the capturing, but to issue the number, the guy said they cannot issue it. It's going to be issued from Nigeria, from Abuja. So when I waited, I didn't get it. It's when I contacted somebody in Nigeria who has to pay money to get it. That's when I got the number because they made it a requirement for renewal of my passport.
Okay, now did you have to pay extra for them in Nigeria?
Yes, what I pay in Nigeria is extra to what I pay online. It's like the passport they say we should pay online here. The man is saying that $130 or $130 is something. It's optional. It's not optional. That's why they don't give you online. They don't give you the chance to have appointment online. And when you want to wait for the day the day we open for appointment, you're not gonna get nothing. So you gotta walk in there. You pay the 30 and then another 100 or something. 130 is extra. They promised 10 weeks. Up till now, I'm yet to get my passport.
Yeah.
To be renewed.
Thank you for the question, sir.
Yeah, it took my daughter I think 8 weeks, but she finally got it. And the day that we went to the embassy in Washington, D.C. We went to D.C. because we had something to do in D.C. So we got there 7:30 in the morning and we left around 4 p.m. to get the passport renewed. Yes, Alagba, I see your hand up, but
there was a question. There was a question that I needed to answer.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, Alagba.
Yes, it's true that when you come to our center, we will do your capturing, then we'll give you a tracking number. Under normal circumstances, we're supposed to get the number back from Abuja within 48 hours, except if there is any problem. So normally within 48 hours, your center should have been able to give you your NIN number. So the system is interfacing, you know. If we have
I'm going to mute everybody again, please. Mute yourself. We keep saying this.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be 48 hours before you get your number. But the problem is sometimes when you get that number and then you want to use it to do something in Nigeria, they say it doesn't drop. So we have to call back to Abuja again and say, our people that got this number from us are complaining that what they needed to do with in Nigeria is not being done. Then they have to call Abuja again and say, okay, somebody is working at the back end to make sure that it drops. So the system is screwed up, man. Seriously.
So, but when they know, what I don't understand is if they are not fully prepared, why did they start it?
It's because of they are making money off of it.
Okay, Alagba, I see you just have admin's pad. Can you unmute yourself, sir? What is your name, sir?
Yes, Ayankola Wale.
Oh, Otumba Kemiola Ogun. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are trying to speak English because we want the Consul General to get this.
Yes, I'm sorry that I missed the presence of the Consul General.
It didn't stay long. That's why you missed it.
Yes. I'm just wondering why this NIN issue is such a very problematic, because I remember when they asked us to do the BVN and I went to North Jersey somewhere. I think there was an agent over there. I did it. And it was very, very smooth. A couple of a week or something like that, I got my BVN number. What I would suggest, because this type of problem is widespread, not only in America, everywhere. And I know our people here, the problem is not totally yours. A lot of problem came from Nigeria because someone already mentioned, these people are not being funded the way they're supposed to be. I mean, they expect them to render services, but they're not giving them the amount of funding they needed. One way, but that does not really justify, extorting money from people or something like that. But I want to see how we can liaise with Honorable Abike Dabiri, who is the chair lady and managing director of Nigeria and Diaspora Commission. So maybe there could be something they can do, because going over there and frustrating with all this stuff, it's not going to change anything. So hopefully by linking with this lady, we might be able to really know what is going on. But most of the problems are from Nigeria. And you can see every day, the doctors are on strike, the truck driver are on strike, everybody are on strike, because the government is not really living up to what they promised everybody. It's so shameful.
Yeah, I mean, because Buhari himself has been on strike since he got this job.
So that is the issue. I think let's see how we can link with Madam Abike Dabiri.
Yeah, thank you. Madam Abike Dabiri came on Yoruba Gbode, and she spent about 3 hours. But if there is need, I'm going to reach out to her too. She's a nice lady. She won't mind to come back and talk to us on Yoruba Gbode on all these issues. Yes. Thank you, Otumba.
Mrs. Yusuf, you know what they do? Yes. They will come before us and make empty promises. The moment they get back to their office, they forget about us. Period.
So how can we make them not to forget about us?
We should stop sending money to them. We should stop every dime that we are sending to Nigeria.
But we are sending the money to our people, not to them.
But I mean, it's so frustrating,
I know.
The money that we send to our people over there, it's not reasonable.
Yeah, they don't mind it.
kò sí omi, kò sí iná, kò sí anything.
A bowl of beans now in Nigeria is 1,600 naira. 1,600 naira.
If we stop sending money, they will feel it, and then they will come to their senses.
No, I don't think that will help. Elijah, just one more question. Did anybody ask the Consul General before he left about this visa on arrival or something? How practicable is that?
The thing is, we have all these questions, but he didn't stay. He caught me by surprise when he said he was going to spend 30 minutes. I've never had a guest that spent less than 2 hours. So I was actually nervous. I didn't know which question to ask him. And it was the Yoruba Gbode that were asking him. But the point is, we didn't have time. But he has promised that he will come back. So I think we are going to put all the questions together and let him know that when he comes back, we have some questions. So I'm going to work on his coming back.
Sorry, Ma, what is that question about? What is the question they are trying to ask?
About the visa on arrival.
Yeah, visa on arrival is a program that they're trying to push forward. Like we all know, Nigeria has this idea of just announcing things without implementing it. It's true that they have that program in place, but it's not being implemented yet, so nobody should try it. So what I know for sure is if you have an expired passport, you can still travel with that.
To Nigeria.
To Nigeria, and that will be honored. And also, but one thing you want to do on that, make sure you confirm that with the airline that you want to use, because that makes a whole lot of difference. But Nigeria as a country is accepting that policy, but airline might choose to take you or not. And the other one is about the emergency travel certificate that you can actually get without going to New York or Atlanta. So that is what I will advise for someone. But visa on arrival is a program they're pushing forward, but it's not been implemented yet.
Yeah.
And I want to say this, for some of us, we know the interior minister is Aregbesola. Some of us know him. Those are the people that are pushing the agenda, but they're not implementing it. A time they said this visa passport will be issued in all the 774 local government. They made it so good in a way that within 72 hours, you'll be able to get your passport. That was never followed. And they will put it on the air. Somebody talk about Bike Dabiri. It's a useless idea to go through that lady, because if a whole foreign affairs is not doing what they're supposed to do, how can one person, Abike Dabiri is supposed to be a chairperson of a commission. That commission was never put in place. And I've challenged her several times. You keep parading yourself as CEO of a commission that don't exist. I think they just.
What's your name, sir? You've been talking. I can't even.
Oh, sorry. My name is Adomode Ololade La Crown.
Oh.
I'm the president of Egopija Yoruba. So what I'm trying to say is that
sometimes
she has no commission. They're just paying her because of whatever service she must have offered to APC. But she has no commission and she cannot answer any question on that. But what I want to advise us is we can make life difficult for these people here. Then Nigeria will get the message. New York is even better. Atlanta and DC, they don't give option for walking. In New York, you can still get appointment. They don't give option unless you walk in. And they're collecting that $130. I've challenged them. Somebody said the lady in Atlanta is working on it, but there is no option. So in New York, you can still get appointment. You don't need to walk in all the time. But Atlanta and DC don't even have that option. So my advice is we can make life difficult for them here. Then they will listen. We always gather, talk about it and let it go. No, they're just common human beings like us. I work for federal government here in the US and I know what I do. So, and I've challenged them on the same platform too. So we can make noise there that we close those embassies, those consulates, and then they will send the message home. The people
here, another thing that I'm going to advise.
They are not enjoying, like somebody said, all what government is telling us, they're not really getting it to implement it. So if we do that, we're actually helping the staff here to reach out to the government and send them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Odomodela Crown. Another thing that I'm going to advise is I am going to get the link for the town meeting, and I'm going to keep announcing it on Yoruba Gbode. So we should go there en masse to the town meeting and make all our complaints. Because I have thought about it. Is there any way to do without Nigerian embassy? I mean, I know what I went through. Each time I think that my passport is going to expire again, I'm scared. I get nervous because I'll be thinking about, oh, what I went through. It was like a nightmare for me. So we should all make sure that we attend that town meeting. Yeah, I'm a follower. There show you in camera.
Sọ fún bàbá yìí lóge wọ́n bá ń ṣe.
Bàbá yìí lóge ò sí lórí afọ́nrán lónìí ṣá. Ẹ̀yin náà lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n wá.
It seems we have a country that delights in making life difficult for us. All other countries try to make life easier for their people, but not Nigeria. Their agenda is the more you make life difficult for Nigerians, they think that the more effective they are as politicians, as people in government, and that's a shame. Yes, each time a new consular general comes or a new ambassador comes, oh, I'm making changes. But the problems are more than 50 years old, and we keep repeating the same cycle. Now, one example of how the government delights in making life difficult for us is the question of BVN and NIN. What the hell is the difference between the two? They made all of us get BVN. It was working, everything was linked together, and suddenly we have to scramble to go and get NIN. I would like to know the difference between that, and why can we not use BVN for what NIN is supposed to do? That's, like I said, when NIN came, I just refused to pay attention to it. I said, I've had enough. I've tried it here, trying to get my passport renewed here. I went through hell. I went to Nigeria to get, another time to get my passport renewed. It was another hell. And why on earth did we have to change a 10-year passport life to a 5-year passport life? What's wrong with us in the country? Yes.
A lot is wrong.
Yeah, they put, like you said, Abike Dabiri, she has this, is it minister without portfolio? There is even no minister now. It's just a title. And she's not effective. Meanwhile, when she tries to meet with Nigerians in the diaspora, she's pelted with questions that she has no power to effect or to even seek answers to. Why do we have to make life difficult for our citizens? We have no love for our citizens. And so it peters down to the ordinary person in the street. Oh, I've been screwed up by the vendor, so I'm going to screw up the next person, and I'm going to screw up the next person. And of course, the politicians are there as cynical as ever. And we keep re-electing them. I mean, through greed, through rigging. What can we do? Those of us in the diaspora cannot vote, but how can we educate those at home? Please do not accept their bag of rice. Do not accept their bowl of Congo bowl of beans. We need to understand the meaning of citizenship and the significance of our role in forming a government, in electing a government.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I just want to chip in one little thing. It is good that we are having this kind of comment on participation and relating our own experiences. But without anybody trying to link to who can help, it's not going to do us any good. One thing that Nigeria government doesn't like is publicity through radio or TV or something like that. I think we need to explore that, maybe one way or the other. Maybe one of these Nigeria association or whatever it's going to be, who will be able to really, get in touch maybe with this Nigeria TV channel or any of these things, or pay the advertisement or something like that to really express our frustration about what is going on here. Because they are asking us, to participate in investment and all this type of things. But the process of doing that is becoming so cumbersome. I mean, you want to just get the passport renewed or something like that, becomes such a big deal. So let's see how we can become such a headache for them through publicity or whatever, so that we can narrate the real problem of a lot of us who went over there. I don't know whether they will be allowed to videotape any experience or something like that. But we need to go through that. We need to really shame them. Okay, at one point, there was a time I learned that they called it the light of the embassy in New York, that the whole building was totally in darkness because they didn't pay their bill.
They didn't pay their bill.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You see, that's a very good point. One thing that I wanted to let you and everybody know, as somebody in the press, media, is that even the media back home, they are scared to talk. Only very few of them. Because what happened is, wherever you are, it depends on where you are. For example, if your media is in your state, if you say state radio in your state, they don't want to say anything that is against the government, even though the government is doing something wrong. And I've gone through it. So the grace that we have now are the private media. And even then, some of them have problems. So one of the things that Yoruba Gbode is working on seriously is how we can get Yoruba Gbode to Nigeria. It's in Nigeria, people participate from Nigeria, but one thing that we are not able to do is it's only people who have money who can get on the Zoom. But how can we put it on a local TV so that my mother selling kola nuts will be able to see it and see what the government is doing wrong? And Iya Oniyan from Magan will be able to see it and say, ìjọba ọ̀rọ̀ ìjọba ni wọ́n ń sọ láti America, ìjọba burúkú la ní. So we need public enlightenment through the local station. And Yoruba Gbode is working very hard to make sure that we get that. And soon we are going to be telling you the good news. So please help us so that we will be able to do that. Ọbẹ̀ tó dùn owó ló pa, mo dúpẹ́. Alàgbà Ògúnyínká, you're on the floor. You have the floor. Please unmute yourself, sir.
Thank you very much, Olotu. I will want to piggyback on Madame Omofolabo on the question that she actually asked. She asked a question as regards the BVN. One thing that has actually been the problem of our successive Nigerian government had been that subsequent governments that come right after, they want to implement their own program. And as a result of that, they jettison the previous administration. Probably, or not even much difference in the sense that if a new party come on board, there is no continuity. As the situation is here in America, majority of the parastatals are independent of the government. Like the FBI, like the CIA, they are different from whatever president that is on board, be it Republican, be it Democrat? How does it has to be in relation to the situation in Nigeria? We have a BVN, which was actually came on board under Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, under the government of Jonathan. And invariably, they follow through with it, with this new administration. And when they see that the accounts of various people started showing up, that they have like 20 different accounts for one person in millions of naira, then a whole lot of things dials down. The other situation is there is national identity card under Afolabi, the minister. That was under the regime of President Obasanjo. The national identity cards actually started, and it somehow along the line, they never actually followed through with it. So now we have various programs that actually started on good intention, and at the end of the day, it did not actually achieve the intended motive. So I will appreciate Madam Shola Yusuf to actually help us to reach out to the Consular General to let us know where the situation of things is. As regards the national identity card, that is one. The other one is the issue of the BVN. Even though he stated that his office is totally different from that of the immigration, but all of it are interwoven. They are connected together one way or the other. So we have the NIN, which just came up of recent. So when it comes in terms of here in America, we have people, if you want to go and get your ID at DMV, which is motor vehicle, they will require of you to have 6 points ID. So now, let him give us, maybe at the town hall meeting, if you can help us to get this video or question over to him before then, to help us out concerning the NIN, what's the situation of the national identity card, and also, which I know definitely that NIDO, which is NIDO in diaspora here in America, they have been on top of these things, which has to do with issue of passport, which actually came to the point it is now on a 10 years passport situation. And also to have various offices here in America. America is a large country. It's a large expanse of land. I have somebody who recently came like about 3 weeks ago, and she has to sleep in my house in order to be able to avoid the bills of hotel. This is a situation that majority of our Nigerian people are facing. If we can be able to have another consulate spread across, we know majority of the places that our Nigerian community are. We have them in Chicago, we have them in Texas, we have them in California. All the other offices that we currently have are on the East Coast. How will they be able to cater for those on the West Coast? They are also Nigerians. And coming to New York, going to Atlanta, and in order to be able to get passport, they have to stay days, lose their paycheck. I think it's high time that they help us out. So these are many more are the other issues that are affecting our people. So I would appreciate the Consular General, Egopija, to definitely help us to see to it. Thank you very much. We're not hearing you, Ostman.
Okay, thank you. We will make sure
Yes,
that he gets all these things.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Alagba Ogunyinka, God bless your wisdom.
Amen.
Alagba, Barrister Shomoye, I did not see your hand. I'm not ignoring you. Please forgive me. If you are still here, Barrister Shomoye, Mi ò mọ nọ́mbà tẹ́ fi wọlé o. And okay, there is somebody with Galaxy A20. You are on Galaxy A20. Is that Barrister Shomoye? Oh yeah, oh. Galaxy A20. You can talk. Okay. Èmi ti tú yín lẹ̀ o. Okay. Ó dà bàbá Adéníran Adébóyè. Mo rí pé ẹ̀yin náà ti náwó ṣe díẹ̀ foríjì mi. Bàbá Adébóyè. Bàbá ẹ túra yín lẹ̀, èmi ti tú yín lẹ̀ o.
Mo ti dé o.
Ẹ káàbọ̀.
Ẹ ṣeun. Inú mi dùn tí àwọn èèyàn bá wa dá sí gan. So any camera so you. I'm happy that everybody, that a large number of people have contributed to the discussion. And since we are in the United States, I should invoke a former president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, who said that eternal vigilance is the price of democracy. What we people from Africa in general, from Nigeria or anywhere else, have to bear in mind is that the idea of this size government didn't originate with us. It came with colonialism. So we have to practice what is needed to make it work. We ought to have a permanent group in Washington and New York that can go and demonstrate at a moment's notice, at least something like 20, 30 with placards ready, so that when things go wrong, you call the press, you demonstrate, and that even if Nigerian press doesn't carry it, international press will carry it and it will get to Nigeria. None of those people will do anything right unless they are threatened by bad publicity or something else. As far as investment in Nigeria is concerned, I don't think we can stop sending money home. The children are hungry, school fees have to be paid, and so on and so forth. But the idea is good, that we should look at how, outside of that, we can hit the country by the pocketbook. There's no reason why you should take my money if you are not going to give me the service. And that's not a rebellion against anything. It's an assertion of human rights, that if I'm not going to get what I'm paying for, then I shouldn't pay for it. And the other part of it about electioneering and what have you, as Professor Ajayi Soyinka said, we have to find a way to educate our people so that on the election day is not enough to go and vote for somebody and then be enslaved to that person for until the next election. I think it's a whole bunch of things we have to do that other people don't have to do because other citizens of other countries don't have to do, that we have to do. We just accept our destiny and say this is the only way we are going to get quote and unquote democracy to establish itself. We are going to have to agitate. Thank you. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
À ń gbọ́ yín dáadáa, gbogbo ayé ní ń gbọ́ yín, à ń gbọ́ yín.
Ok, mo ti sọ tán, mo ti ṣe tó wà lẹ́nu.
Ó tán lẹ́nu, ó kù níkùn. Ní sọ́tán láṣẹ Olúwa. Ẹ sọ kù ní ẹ tún sọ míì. Ẹ ṣe ń wo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá wojú ọjọ́, ẹ rí wípé ọjọ́ ti lọ. Gbogbo àwọn tó nawọ́ sókè ni mo ti pè o. Mi ò rí ẹni tó nawọ́ sókè tí mi ò tí ì pè àfẹ́ntí wọn bá rí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ọwọ́ mi wà lókè, mo fẹ́ sọ kókó ọ̀rọ̀ kan.
Mo ṣe bí ọwọ́ àtijọ́ ni ìmọ̀pọ̀ ọwọ́ tuntun ni, ó yẹ ìṣòlẹ̀.
Nǹkan tí n fẹ́ fi kún ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ earlier náà ni pé another avenue tá a lè gbà láti dá wàhálà lẹ̀ fáwọn ará bí kí wọ́n lè mọ̀ pé à ń jẹ wá. Òun ni pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa náà, àwọn tó jẹ́ olórí wa tó wà nílùú yìí, like our representatives, our senators, káwa náà ká ní relationship pẹ̀lú wọn, so that irú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí tá bá gbé lọ́bẹ̀ láti sọ pé báyìí ni àwọn náà, especially àwọn tó bá wà ní foreign affairs àbí state commission wọ̀nyẹn, tá bá mọ̀ wọ́n through wọn, a lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n gbọ́ nípa ìyà tó ń jẹ wá. Tá bá dẹ̀ paint message yẹn bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé tọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ àbá rí passport yìí gbà, ó lè cause wàhálà fún ìjọba ìlú yìí, wọ́n á dá sí. Ìyẹn ní ẹlẹ́kejì gan ni pé another thing tó yẹ ká ṣe, wàhálà tó wà ńlẹ̀ ń sìn. America gan fúnra as a country, ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n block gbogbo appointment fáwọn èèyàn àti gba visa, tó fi jẹ́ pé nílé nísìn àwọn èèyàn ń ra ọjọ́ just to go to embassy. À ń sọ tiwa, but àwọn wàhálà míì wà tó tún fi ń jẹ wá. So tó bá ní bá a ṣe lè pariwo yẹn náà, táwọn èèyàn bá wà ń lé sìn tẹ́lẹ̀, orí online làwọn èèyàn ti ń book date, but tí sì kò ṣeé ṣe, tẹ́ bá lọ bẹ̀ wọ́n ní 2023 2024 ló wà. Èmi kan ti máa ń gbọ́ story yẹn pé àwọn èèyàn ń ra ọjọ́. Èmi kàn fi pé bá Amẹ́ríkà ṣe rí kò yẹ kó ṣeé ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n òótọ́ ni torí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi. Ìgbà tí mo lọ lé last tí wàhálà dé bí tí mo ti ń pariwo, wọ́n ní wọ́n á ṣí ọjọ́ kan fún mi láti lè mú ọjọ́ yẹn kí n lè wá sí embassy, and they actually did. Ó bá wọn fà á débi kí wọ́n ní tó bá di aago kan níjọba ọjọ́ tí mo ń dá wàhálà lẹ̀, pé wọ́n máa ṣí, mo lọ ní Monday, wọ́n ní wọ́n á ṣí ọjọ́ Wednesday from 8 to 10 kí n mú time tó wù mí. Lo and behold, they opened that date for Wednesday and it was on Monday, even though you have people that have been looking for date forever. So it now occurred to me that truly they blocked those dates. It's not as if they were busy. They blocked those dates. Láti má jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn wá wá bí. But àwọn kan mi wá mọ bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe tó yẹ pé tó bá ní connection nínú ilé, wọ́n ra ọjọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. But another problem tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sin ni pé àwọn ọjọ́ tí wọ́n tún rà, àwọn aráàlú kejì, which is America ń bí, wọ́n tún wá ń make sure pé wọ́n á tún wá bí ẹ pé báwo ló ṣe rí ọjọ́ yẹn, pé how did you get it, even though you must have paid certain amount of money. Èmi rò kó bóyá bíi consulate wọn wà ń bí, ó lè bá wa dá sí, bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dàbí pé wọ́n ní bilateral relationship wọn ò débẹ̀ láti question wọn. But àwa náà lè ṣe é pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà ń bí pé how is it possible tó jẹ́ pé lórí online àwọn èèyàn ò lè book fún appointment ní Nàìjíríà to get a visa to come to America. So
ẹ dákun ọ̀dọ́mọdé làkúrán, ọjọ́ tẹ ni wọ́n ń rà yìí, ọwọ́ ta ni ó ti wá, ta ló ń tà á, ta ló ń gbowó ẹ̀yìn àtọwọ́ wájú.
Tẹ bá ń lọ sí embassy, tẹ bá fẹ́ lọ embassy, àwọn wọ̀nyẹn pọ̀ bíi tout, wọ́n sọ pé hey 100,000 200,000 300,000, in fact wọ́n ra 400, wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀, wọ́n wà ní embassy area.
Ṣùgbọ́n ta ló ń fún wọn ní ọjọ́, embassy ló ń fún wọn lọ́jọ́ yẹn.
Ó ní èmi gan ò gbàgbọ́ kó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ tí mi ò lè dáhùn, ṣùgbọ́n èmi wá ń sọ pé èmi lọ fa wàhálà ní embassy fúnra mi directly, tí mo dẹ̀ bá torí àwọn olóṣè Amẹ́ríkà wọ̀nyẹn lọ́hùn, wọ́n hide under COVID pé wọn ò lè ríyàn. Tẹ́lẹ̀ as an American, èèyàn wà working ni, but these days because of COVID, ó lè ríyàn àfi appointment. Nígbà tẹ́mi lè mọ̀ pé mo ní deadline to come back, mi ò dẹ̀ ní pálí àti wábí, so mo ní dandan mo láti padà. So staff wọn ni mo lọ bá directly, òun ló dẹ̀ fún mi ní ọjọ́ tó ṣí fún mi tí mo fi book appointment to do what I did. Ó wá yà èmi lẹ́nu pé possible. So àwọn tó wà ń ta lóòótọ́ tó ń ta ọjọ́ yẹn, that means it's true. Mo dẹ̀ rẹ́ni tó ra ọjọ́ lóòótọ́, ó ti wà ń bí ń sìn. She paid 150,000 just to get an appointment. But ìyẹn ò sí assurance pé wọ́n lè rí visa gbà. Why is it like that? Tó dẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Àwọn staff yẹn ò lè sọ pé wọn ò mọ̀. Torí géètì embassy wọn ni gbogbo àwọn tó ń ta ọjọ́ yẹn wà. So it's something tá a lè fọ́ táwọn náà lè gbé dìde láti bí. Why is it like that? Why tí wọ́n ṣe lè rí ọjọ́ mú lórí online?
So we should find out. We should find out.
tó bá jẹ́ pé
program if we should find out tó bá jẹ́ wípé
nǹkan tẹ́mi sọ ni pé
Amẹ́ríkà ó fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ lórí ìwà burúkú yìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni irú congressman ni tèmi èmi lè gbé wá sórí ètò yìí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ gbà á lálejò so that irú àwọn ẹ̀ tá a bá sọ àwọn ló lè wá gbé lọ sáàrin ẹgbẹ́ tiwọn the same thing ní wàhálà tí à ń face ní embassy wa ń bí tá a bá gbé lọ bá wọn káwọn náà gbọ́ then wọ́n lè bring it up láàrin àwọn èèyàn wọn.
ẹ ṣeun ìmọ̀ràn gidi ni a máa ronú a máa jọ ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn onílù níbí báyìí náà ká gbé wọn wá ká béèrè ìbéèrè ká sọ wàhálà wọn fún wọn wàhálà wa ká sọ fún wọn. Ẹ ṣeun àdúpẹ́ bí ẹ bá wojú ọjọ́ ta ni ò tí ta ló nawọ́ tí mi ò tí pè.
Alájà Àyànkọ́lá wọlé, I just have one few things láti add.
Okay.
Ṣe rí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí wà very okay, but recently mo notice pé àwọn Nigerian institution ní Nigeria wọ́n wà very sensitive to this public disgrace. Tàbá rí gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣe ládàbọ̀ àwọn ọlọ́pàá tó ń bá ti sọmọ di fídíò wọn they will react quickly. I think we need to look for a way lára àwọn tó experience real problem ní embassy yẹn tá a lè really quantify it so that irú àwọn yẹn tó ń bá videotape wọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí wọ́n sọ experience ìyẹn a bá lè post ẹ̀ sórí àwọn social media something like that one way or the other the Ministry of Interior Ministry or Ministry of External Affairs pàákínní yẹn á gún wọn lára wọn á react. We need to explore several ways láti lè jẹ́ káwọn people mọ̀ pé frustration táwọn go through bí báyìí kò wà justifiable, and one of those things is that tí ò ní cost wà much money mi ò wọ́n bá ṣe lè organize ẹ̀ o tó jẹ́ pé àwọn tó really need the real story what they went through over there tó má lè interview wọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n dẹ̀ videotape wọn tá post wọn káàkiri this thing will get to them.
Ẹ ṣeun ìyẹn ò lè ohun tá a lè ṣe orí WhatsApp náà láàfin sí á dẹ̀ ṣe àlàyé èmi àti yín a máa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìmọ̀ràn yín tó ṣe pàtàkì. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa bí ẹ bá wojú ọjọ́ ẹ rí wípé lónìí Yorùbá máa sọ̀rọ̀ wípé ilé ọba tó jó ẹwà ló bùkún ẹwà ló bùkún ṣé ẹ mọ̀ wípé a ní lọ́kàn wípé Consul General will be able to stay with us as much, but he wasn't able to. But because of the love of our nation, because of the love of our culture, and because of the interest that we have in Yoruba Gbode, we all still stayed here to make sure that we say things that we wanted to say if he were here. And right now, we are, by the grace of God, I make sure that he gets all this submission from our people. Thank you so much. So, ẹni tó bá sọ òyìnbó nílé àná ẹ̀, wọ́n ní òun náà ni ó fi ẹnu rẹ̀ túmọ̀. So, ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, mo kí yín pé ẹ kú àtàárọ̀. Ní ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ, by the grace of Almighty God, bẹ́lẹ́mi ò bá gbà, we are going to do something special that we haven't done on Yoruba Gbode, and it is the voice of our youth. We are going to bring our youth who are very prominent in the society. We are going to bring them. Rinu Oduala is coming. Oladiran Oladokun is coming. Onyida, there's Dr. Onyida, who is one of our vibrant youth. We have Adebola Ige from Germany, and a lot more of our youth. We are bringing them on Yoruba Gbode. We want to hear their voice. What is the problem? What do they need from us to move Yoruba land forward that they are not getting? What is their aspiration? What do they see that is going wrong in this system that is not taking care of them? What is their joy? What is their sadness? What is their concern? We are going to hear from our youth on Yoruba Gbode. Gbogbo èdè la máa sọ. Wherever they can speak English, Yoruba, everything is going to be all day. We are going to listen to our youth by the grace of God. At this point, I'm also going to remind us, please, those of you who have the intention to help Yoruba Gbode, I'm grateful for those of you who have helped us several times. Thank you so much. I'm also calling all of the people, if you have interest in helping Yoruba Gbode, PayPal, Zelle, wherever, help us. And also, I'm taking this opportunity to announce about the Yoruba Gbode language school. Èdè wa ara àṣà ni. Àṣà ló sọ ẹni tá a jẹ́. Language is an essential part of our culture. The culture is who we are. If you lose your language, you lose your culture. If you lose your culture, you lose yourself. Please make sure that your grandchildren, your children, your spouse who are not speaking Yoruba are able to speak Yoruba. It's very, very important. Call us, Yoruba Gbode Language School. We are there. We are teaching conversational language. They are speaking the language. They are singing the song in Yoruba language. What we do here is amazing. Please be part of this success story. Thank you so much. If you look at the time, we have really gone far, and I'm very, very grateful. My gratitude to Egbon Tata, Baba Adeniran Adeboye, Professor Adeniran Adeboye. I'm very, very grateful for all that you do, for your interest, for your unrelentlessness. We are very, very grateful. Ogbon yin o ni dópin. Yeye Omofolabo Ajayi Soyinka. When I grow up, I want to be just like you. So smart. I want to be just like you, Mama. Thank you so much for your interest, for your love, for your effort.
Excuse me.
Yeah, well, I just shall send me an email. Can you send the centers you want to see?
Benny,
please,
I have your number. I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, text me your email. Thank you.
Yes, and I can even put it here too.
Okay.
Baba Adeboye, you are trying to say something.
I was trying to let you know that Professor Folabo Soyinka is a Nobel laureate without a beard.
So that is where we get all the smartness. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Ẹ ṣeun adúpẹ́. Baba Akinshiku, where are you, sir? Thank you so much, Baba Akinshiku. Baba Ayiloge, àṣà ò pẹ́ kó bẹ́ẹ̀, ọ̀nà ò sì jìn, àwádìí wọn kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ó ń láti jẹ́ pé ìgẹ́ta sí bí ó ní bó ṣe jẹ́. Galaxy A20, mo rọ́wọ́ yín lókè, mo pè yín, mi ò lè mú yín wá sí ìta pé kí ẹ sọ̀rọ̀, mo tú yín lẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n mi ò gbọ́ kẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Kì í ṣe àfojúdi o, mo kàn fẹ́ kí. Okay. Àǹtí mi, Táyélolú Èjìrè ará Ìṣokùn, Yèyé Líjàdù, ẹ ṣeun, ẹ fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. Mi ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kí n lọ láì jẹ́ pé ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Yèyé, ẹ ti wà lórí ọpọ́n. Yèyé Líjàdù, ẹ lè sọ̀rọ̀. Yèyé Líjàdù, ẹ lè sọ̀rọ̀. Mo rí yín, ẹ̀yin náà sì ń wò mí báyìí, ṣùgbọ́n mi ò rí ká ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Yèyé Líjàdù, ẹ tẹ microphone yín. Yèyé Líjàdù.
Ẹ túra yín lẹ̀ náà.
Ẹ túra yín lẹ̀, mi ò tiẹ̀ wá rí, èmi ti tú wọn lẹ̀, ó sì hàn wípé wọ́n wà ní títú.
Ta ló ní phone number àwọn kan pè é?
Ok, mo rò pọ̀ ọgbọ́n tí màá dá náà nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣeun. Àǹtí Táíwò, mi rò pọ́n tiẹ̀ lè, tó bá yẹ pé aago wọn ni wọ́n. Àǹtí Táíwò.
Lèmi náà ti ń pè ń bí. Káwọn tó máa kọ́kọ́ gbé.
Hello, Aunty Taiwo, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. A ní kẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀, à ń wò yín ṣu.
Kò sí ọ́díò lọ́dọ̀ mi rárá, mi ò gbọ́ tẹ́ ẹ sọ rárá.
So ẹ gbọ́ mi. Ṣùgbọ́n a tú yín lẹ̀, mi ò wá mọ bó ṣe rí o.
Mi ò gbọ́ yín àtọ̀.
Wọ́n ti tún mute ara wọn. Wọ́n tún ti mute ara wọn.
Àǹtí, okay, wọ́n ní ẹ mute ara yín, ẹ tẹ́bi tẹ́ mute ara yín yẹn, ó máa unmute yín. Ibi tẹ́ ti rí mute yẹn ẹ tẹ̀, ó máa unmute yín.
Ẹ má bínú o, wọ́n activate voice wọn ni o, wọ́n activate audio wọn rárá. Nǹkan tó fà á nìyẹn tó fi lè gbọ́.
Wọ́n ní ẹ activate audio yín.
Audio mi wà on torí ẹ̀ lẹ ṣe ń gbọ́ mi tí mo ń sọ̀rọ̀.
Irọ́, a gbọ́ yín orí fóònù ni mo ti ń gbọ́ yín. A gbọ́ yín lórí Zoom.
Ẹ padà sórí Zoom kí n wo bóyá.
Mọ́mí Yusuf, ẹ put ti fóònù tí yín sí speaker, a lè máa gbọ́ wọn.
Okay, ṣé ẹ fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ through speaker, Aunty Taiwo? Ṣé ń gbọ́ wọn? Ó yẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀.
Lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún wọn yẹn, ẹni kan off kan kúrò lórí line, kan wá tún kan padà again. Lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún wọn lọ́wọ́ òsì wọn máa rí dial lọ́wọ́ ìsàlẹ̀. Òkè yẹn ibi tó ti kọ cellular yẹn ni kan click. Wọ́n máa ń click dial yẹn, ìyẹn ló ń cause tán fi ń gbọ́.
Okay, Aunty Taiwo ṣe gbọ́.
Ẹni kan off ara wọn.
Kí wọ́n ṣe kí ni?
Kan off ara wọn, kan tún wá kan connect padà. Kan wá wọ́wọ́ òsì wọn. Ìkan máa show dial ìsàlẹ̀, dial yẹn ló ń click, òun ni ò ṣe gbọ́ wa. So kó click cellular tó wà lókè, kó má lọ sí dial ìsàlẹ̀ yẹn. Ọwọ́ òsì ẹ̀ ló wà.
Wọ́n ní kẹ́ click cellular, ṣe rí bí cellular yẹn ṣe lè click ẹ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wọlé padà.
Yes, that is it.
Ó dáa. So, ó dáa bí ká fún Yèyé Elijadu ní bí ìṣẹ́jú méjì. Wọ́n ní kí ẹ jáde ká ẹ wọlé padà.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Ó tuntun sí wa. N táwọn ará China gbé wá ìkọ́, ó bá wa lójijì. Pàápàá àwa tá a bá wá látàyè dánáṣọ́. Okay, ẹ ti wọlé padà, ṣé ń gbọ́?
Ó máa rí cellular lọ́wọ́ òsì.
Wọ́n ní ẹ wo cellular lọ́wọ́ òsì. Yèyé Elijadu ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ni wọ́n máa ń fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀.
Cellular lókè. Cellular yẹn náà máa
Ọjọ́ ti wá sí orí ètò ìrìnà, ó dẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀.
Ìgbà yẹn náà.
Wọn ò jáde rárá o, wọ́n ní kó jáde kó padà wọlé, wọn ò jáde rárá. Galaxy A20 wọn ló ṣì wà on yìí. Wọn ò jáde.
Aunty Taiwo jáde rárá.
Come back in. Instead fídíò wọn ni wọ́n ń pa tí wọ́n ń tàn, wọn ò jáde.
Ọ̀yà ẹ gbé sí orí speaker phone.
Aunty Taiwo jáde rárá o, ẹ ní láti pa kẹtún wá tún wọlé.
Wọlé padà yẹn.
Níbẹ̀rẹ̀. Aunty Taiwo wọ́n ní jáde rárá, ẹ ní láti jáde kẹtún wá wọlé padà.
Mo ti jáde, mo ti wọlé padà. Maybe it's my phone. I don't understand. Maybe it's Wi-Fi.
Okay, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ bá àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́ yín, ṣé ń gbọ́ wọn?
Mo ń gbọ́ ẹ̀yin.
Okay.
Ẹ gbé sórí speaker.
Every speaker ló wà.
Mọ́mí Yusuf, ẹ̀yin ni kẹ́ gbé fóònù tí yín sí speaker.
Speaker, fóònù mi wà lórí speaker báyìí.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I can hear now.
Okay. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ through the phone, àwọn èèyàn á gbọ́ yín.
Okay. So,
fóònù ní ká orí fóònù ní ká ti sọ̀rọ̀.
Àgbọ̀ mọ́.
Kí n kúrò lórí line totally kí n wá lọ sórí fóònù.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Jerry.
Okay, Auntie Taiwo. Ó yá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣé ń gbọ́ wọn?
Mo sọ̀rọ̀, mo fẹ́ gbọ́ ohun àwọn èèyàn ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ fún mi nǹkan tẹ́ ń discuss kí lẹ fẹ́ kí n participate in.
A ti parí o, Consul General ti lọ, but Auntie Taiwo máa fẹ́ kẹ́ wá níjọ́ mẹ́jọ torí àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa máa wá. Màá dẹ̀ ti wọ́ọ̀kì pẹ̀lú fóònù yín láti rí i pé fóònù yín ń ṣiṣẹ́. But meanwhile, ẹ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn.
Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá àti ṣé ara le o, ṣé dáadáa ni o.
A dúpẹ́ o, àlàáfíà ni o.
Inú àwa náà dùn láti gbóhùn yín. Kókó báyìí lóògùn làbógun àgbẹ̀dẹ, ilẹ̀ iṣẹ́ àìsàn, àdìrò ìgbóná kalẹ̀ o, àjíǹde ara yóò máa jẹ yín. Ẹ dákun àtúnfọ́ àwà bá ṣe ṣe níjọ́ mẹ́jọ. Àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa ni à ń gbé bọ̀. A pè ní youth voice, the voice of our youth. Ìpàdé di ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹ ṣé. Tó ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tó bí ó ṣe jẹ́nu ní ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ ní agbára Ọlọ́run a tún máa pe ojú òpè ẹsẹ̀ ó pèlè. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí a jọ pawọ́pọ̀ alàgbà àṣálí orí bá mi ṣe ẹ ṣeun o ẹ kú àtàárọ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin kò yẹ kó gbò ní orí Yorùbá Gbòde. Mo dúpẹ́ pẹ́ òkun. Ẹ̀yin gan ni ọmọ ìgbìmọ̀ amúṣẹ́ṣe lórí Yorùbá Gbòde. Mo dúpẹ́ Alhaji Sule ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà ẹ kú fẹ́ẹ̀lú. Ó di ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ kí ẹlẹ́mì ò mọ̀ gbà. Ṣọlá Yusuf aya ìwínilọ́mọ èmi ní obìnrin gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀n bí ẹni tẹ̀pá òde àìtó ní bá gbé ká má tò ní bá wí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. Ẹni tó fúnni lówó kò jẹ́ kí ebi ó pa ni, ẹni tó fúnni nímọ̀ kò fẹ́ ká rìn lókun ẹni mọ̀, ẹni tó fúnni lọ́mọ irú wọn ò fẹ́ ká jàjẹrun bí iṣu. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yèyé mi o Egbinọlá Adékúnbí àtúnwá ẹ̀dú tó kọ́ mi láṣà mo jèrè àṣà. Ire ní mo gbọ́n ará lágbẹ̀dẹ ibi tó bá wà ilẹ̀ rẹ ni. Ó di ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ youth voice. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ dákun torí Ọlọ́run gbogbo wa pátá ẹ jẹ́ ká mú àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa wá tó bá jẹ́ pé a gbà pé àwọn ni ọjọ́ ọ̀la wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú wọn wá sórí Yorùbá Gbòde kán wá sọ tẹnu wọn, kán sọ nǹkan tí wọ́n ń rò nípa ọjọ́ ọ̀la Yorùbá títí di ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ. Mo dúpẹ́ pẹ́ òkun. Ire o.